So the journey continues into the village of Storeton on central Wirral, with its legendary hall, medieval farms still going strong, and the most haunted woodland on the Wirral, where I'm sleeping tonight. I'd appreciate it if you'd join me. Storeton sits 2.5 miles from the River Mersey, 3.5 from the River Dee, and 5 from the Irish Sea. Nestled in the Wirral heartlands, fertile plains, centuries old hedgerows, rich soil, wizened oak trees, surrounded by ancient woodland. The name comes from the Old Norse words "store" and "ton", meaning great farmstead. The settlement dates back to at least the 900s, listed in the Norman Domesday Book of 1086 as Storeton, also known as Stourton in Georgian times. The biggest draw here should be Storeton Hall, an ancient seat of power and the second oldest building on the Wirral. Legends of the hall date back to sub-Roman times. Sir Gawain stopped here on his quest to find the Green Knight. Councils of the Wirral 100 were occasionally held here. An important historical site. A new build neighbourhood has been built on hall grounds. The original ruinous structures converted into new dwellings. Not ideal for history hunters like us, eh? No doubt the energies of such a place must remain imprinted on the land here. Storeton Woods are the biggest attraction here today. A centuries old sprawling woodland, a place where you can easily get lost. Sat on the slopes of a sandstone ridge. But it hasn't always been this way. In the 1980s, the place was in a sorry state. frequented by fly tippers, regularly used for off-road motorcycling and 4x4 rallies. The erosion and damage suffered was said to be heartbreaking to behold. Local developers sought permission to build. The good people of Bebington and Storeton banded together and purchased the woodland, and then persuaded the Woodland Trust to protect it. Since then, the woods have undergone a stunning revival. Locals nurture the place. Community events are regularly held, from craft workshops to woodland maintenance. And every year there's a Christmas carol concert held here. There's a series of quarries here, buried up to 65 metres deep. In use since Roman times. In 1838, quarrymen uncovered an impressive set of dinosaur footprints fossilised in the rock. Archaeologists came to find that the prints belonged to a completely new species, which was given the Greek name Chiriferium stortonensis, and that translates to the hand beast of Storeton. 4 fingers and an extended thumb. It's mad to think, but Storeton was an area of muddy wetlands and marshes at the time when the prints were made, on the edge of a desert. The villages of Bebington and Storeton were built with Storeton stone. Notable buildings built with this stone include Birkenhead Town Hall, Birkenhead Park, Birkenhead Hamilton Square, Liverpool Lime Street Station, and the Sankey Viaduct in Cheshire. It's claimed that the stone was also used for cladding on the Empire State Building in New York. There was also a slab of Storeton sandstone carved into a Roman military gravestone, which is on display in the Grosvenor Museum in Chester. There was also a tramway which ran through this land, and that carried the stone east to Bromborough Pool onto the Mersey. The tramway closed in the 1890s. There are a couple of signs of its existence, but you have to really look these days. There is also said to be an old tram tunnel going under Mount Road, which was part of the old tram route. I've had a look for it, but I can't find it. Giving up for now, but it's just funny because there was a story of a local man named Mr. Jacks who converted the tram tunnel into an underground air raid shelter during World War II. He fitted bunk beds and a heavy protective door, but luckily the air raid shelter was never put to the test. The quarries were abandoned in the 1920s, were filled with rubble from the excavation of the Birkenhead Queensway tunnel. The current footpaths were put in the 1980s, and they trace the old tram route. The energies here today are quite interesting. On the north side of Rest Hill Road, it's just like, it's got serenity and peacefulness to it, like, you know, it's an inviting woodland, but there's also a lot of footfall from dog walkers on the main path there, so you can't really pick anything up. It's just like a nice peaceful woodland other than constant dogs and people. On this south side, I can definitely feel there's energy here. It's a lot less travelled, and I can sense a sort of there's definitely something here, like it's definitely a vibe here. So far in the day, it's just a nice peaceful place to come, really. But the north side is energy wise quiet. South side, it's palpable in the day. I can't help but feel like something's missing when I walk through Storeton. There's a lot of vibes in the place, especially around some of the older farms, but something is missing. I was comparing the place to similar sized villages that I've visited in North Wales, and they all have like little quirky crowning attractions, like ancient churches or halls, graveyards, things like that. And Storeton is missing its own hall, innit? I think that's the crowning jewel that's missing here. Step 1, always remember to ground yourself. Storeton Woods are regarded as the most haunted woodland on the Wirral. Quite the feat when you consider there's also Bidston Hill, Caldy Hill, Eastern Woods, Heswell Dales and Roydon Park, just to name a few. And there are many scary tales to tell. The demonic headless dog that's been witnessed stalking people in the woods here and chasing livestock in nearby fields. It's said to roam a large area of mid-Wirral, and if you encounter it, you will be cursed with bad luck. The 7-foot tall lantern man, who's said to roam the woods after dark, carrying an ethereal light in one hand and a hooked blade in the other. Legend states that if you get caught in his light, he won't stop until he's hunted you down. Roman ghouls, seen wandering ancient pathways, passing through walls, riding on horseback, foreign tongues carried on the wind, still marching in the afterlife. There was a Roman road that ran nearby here from the Roman fort of Diva in present day Chester up north to the Celtic Cornevai trading port at present day Mells, an entity that's been given the name the Witch of the Woods, that's said to enjoy scaring people after dark and chasing them out of here. There are many reports of giggling and laughter heard in the woodland around people as they walk through. Their laughter and wailing is said to chill the blood in the veins. There's a full moon tonight, known as a hunter's moon. The full moon of October, which hunters would take advantage of in a final attempt to gather food for the coming winter. Also known as a blood moon for similar reasons. I was born under a hunter's moon myself many moons ago. What was that? I've decided to camp on the north tonight, mainly because there's a lot more flat ground on this side, and on the south side is that big antenna that you can hear buzzing from within like 30 metres of it. So like I say, it was quite peaceful in here in the day, but there's definitely energies here in the night, so I think it'll be fine here. We'll pick some stuff up here now. Just going to be getting set up shortly. Home for the night. Thrown up quickly. A 3x3 A-frame tarp with a 3x2 ground sheet. Keeping a low profile. An 800 down sleeping bag. A military bivvy bag. Thermals. Layers of clothes. Hand warmers. And a Ginster's sausage roll. I think that should keep me warm tonight. Have you ever heard of the Blackbird of Kilgree? An ethereal mage and seer who once called the wooded ridges of the Wirral home around 1200 years ago. The oldest recorded name for the Wirral is Kilgree. It's of ancient Welsh origin. In sub-Roman times, King Arthur's nephew, Sir Gawain, crossed Kilgree on his quest to find the Green Knight, and he headed north beyond the river but he stopped at Storeton Hall, seeking the Blackbird's counsel. Ancient Wales and surrounding lands were filled with such characters. The Stag of Redenfric, the Owl of Cowlithe, the Eagle of Gwynabwy, capable of reading the fates and communicating prophecies, held in a really high regard by the peoples of these lands. I couldn't tell you what happened to the Blackbird of Kilgree, though I do often wonder. Such figures have a habit of disappearing into the mist of time. I can tell you right now, the energies are strong in here tonight. Since I came in here, I've been feeling a bit edgy, and there's just constant noise around you in the woods. It's raining at the minute, but there's just so much noise, activity around, things moving through the trees, noises right next to me or behind me. There's also been a few things that have caught my eye in the dark, but when I look there's nothing there. But I could feel it before when I come in, the energy in here. And it was intense, and it wasn't like that in the day at all. Can't say I've picked anything specific up yet. Possibly the hint of a female energy when I came in onto this big open woodland area next to the north path. All of the encounters and experiences I've had at places like this have been off camera, and that's because there's always like a spontaneity to them, a sort of out the blue effect, and it's for that reason that it's not going to be easy to capture. But I am going to work on a style to try my best to show you what I can. Alas, I am a weary traveller, and the time has come to rest my head on Stoneton soil for the night. Give us a few seconds to catch some Zeds, and I'll be back with you in the morning. managed about 4 hours sleep, mostly peaceful. Did have a group of people walk past at 2 AM off one of the paths behind me. I just lay here in the dark and watched the torchlights pass. They probably could have seen me if they'd have looked in my direction, but they just carried on straight ahead. I've woke up before my alarm. He heard something loud crashing in the woods down the hill there. Could only assume it was like a log or something. Plan now is to pack up and be away before the early morning dog walkers get here. One more ticked off the list, with much work still to do. This one's been hard work to get finished due to an ongoing lack of free time, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. But I'll still be here, working away on new content, and I'll return as soon as I can with a new video. You'll have me word on that. Consider leaving us a like if you've enjoyed watching, and I look forward to hearing from a few of you in the comment section. Thanks for watching, and farewell until we meet again.